When my wife, Rachel, invited me to her office party, I hesitated. She told me countless stories about how easygoing and close her coworkers were, especially one of them, Jason, the smooth, confident type who always knew how to make people laugh. The way she spoke about him had always rubbed me the wrong way. Still, I didn't want to sound possessive. "It's just a work thing, Jake," she said with a sigh when I hesitated. "Everyone wants to meet you, so I already said yes." The night of the party, I slipped on a navy blazer, trying to ignore the unease twisting in my gut. We arrived at the hotel ballroom, alive with laughter, music, and way too many drinks. Rachel looked breathtaking in a red dress, and I immediately noticed Jason's eyes light up when we walked in. He strutted over with a smug grin, hand extended. "You must be Jake," he said smoothly, voice dripping with fake warmth. "Heard a lot about you." Something in his tone told me exactly what this was, not friendliness, but a test. All evening, he lingered near Rachel like a shadow. Every time she laughed at one of his jokes, he'd glance at me, gauging my reaction. I stayed quiet, calm, watching him. When she left to grab another glass of wine, Jason leaned toward me. "Gotta say, Jake," he murmured with a smirk. "Rachel's a real catch. Must be tough keeping her all to yourself." His audacity stunned me. I clenched my jaw and forced a polite smile. "We trust each other," I said evenly. He chuckled, swirling his drink. "Trust? That's adorable." My blood boiled, but I held my composure. When Rachel returned, unaware, Jason was already back to his charming act, touching her arm as he made another joke. It wasn't just flirting, it was a performance, a challenge. An hour later, the music was louder, the drink stronger, and Jason, clearly drunk, was showing off, arm-wrestling coworkers and cracking crude jokes. Then he looked straight at me. "Come on, Jake," he called out, loud enough for everyone to hear. "Let's see what you've got." Man to man, people started cheering. Rachel looked horrified. "Jason, stop," she hissed, but he only smirked. "What's wrong, Rachel? Don't want your husband to embarrass himself." I stood slowly, straightened my sleeves, and met his eyes. "You sure about that?" I asked quietly. He laughed. "It's just a bit of fun." But we both knew it wasn't. It was about power, about proving he could humiliate me in front of her. The crowd formed a circle, phones out. Jason slammed his elbow onto a table. I sighed, sat across from him and said, "All right, let's make it quick." Our hands locked. I could feel the tension, not just in his grip, but in the air. He was strong, but careless, shoving forward with brute force. I didn't move. The grin on his face faltered as he realized I wasn't giving an inch. "You work out," he muttered. "A bit," I replied calmly. The murmurs grew. Rachel's eyes widened, torn between pride and disbelief. Jason's neck strained, his face reddening as he tried to overpower me. "You should stop," I whispered. "You're already losing." Then, with one firm motion, I pushed his hand down hard. The loud thud echoed across the room. The place erupted. Jason's face went crimson, his confidence shattered. I stood, released his hand, and nodded politely. Good game. People laughed and clapped. A few of his coworkers tried to hide their grins. Rachel's boss approached, shaking my hand. "Well done, Jake. Looks like someone needed humbling." Jason mumbled something under his breath and stalked off toward the bar, glaring at me. Rachel turned to me, half annoyed, half amused. "You didn't have to do that," she said softly. "He asked for it," I replied. She sighed, but there was pride in her eyes. The rest of the night, Jason stayed in the corner, sulking while I danced with Rachel once or twice. The satisfaction I felt wasn't from winning, it was from making a point. Later, at home, Rachel was unusually quiet. Finally, she admitted, "He's been flirting with me for months." I told him to stop, but he always brushed it off. My stomach tightened. "Why didn't you tell me?" "I didn't think it was serious," she said. "He just seemed harmless." I shook my head. He wasn't harmless. He wanted to humiliate both of us tonight. She looked guilty. "I'm sorry. I should have said something." I didn't answer. I just nodded and went to bed, replaying the night in my mind. That Monday, Rachel called me during lunch. "You won't believe this," she said. "Jason quit." Apparently, the arm wrestling match had gone semi-viral in their internal group chat. People were sharing the video and laughing about it. Jason became the office punchline, the guy who got destroyed by his coworker's husband. "His ego couldn't take it," Rachel said, almost pitying him. I didn't. He got what he deserved. Over the next few weeks, Rachel and I grew closer. The whole situation forced us to be honest, about boundaries, trust, and attention. She admitted she'd enjoyed Jason's flattery at first, not realizing how unhealthy it was. I admitted that jealousy had crossed my mind more than once, but I never wanted to control her. "Maybe we both learned something," she said one night, resting her head on my shoulder. "Yeah," I said quietly, "like how some challenges aren't worth taking. But some are." We both laughed, the tension between us finally gone. Months later, Rachel's company hosted another event, smaller and calmer this time. When we arrived, a few coworkers greeted me warmly. "Hey Jake, still undefeated," one joked. Rachel laughed. "You've got a reputation now." I leaned in. "Let's keep it that way." The evening passed peacefully. No drama, no tests. Just two people who'd gone through something and come out stronger. That night, I realized that standing up for yourself isn't just about pride. It's about protecting respect. Looking back, that office party was more than just an awkward night. It was a turning point, a reminder that real confidence isn't about proving strength. It's about knowing when to act and when to walk away. Jason learned that the hard way. As for Rachel and me, we rediscovered what partnership truly means. Mutual respect, honesty, and quiet strength. And now, whenever we drive past that hotel, Rachel always chuckles and says, "Still undefeated, champ." I just smile, because sometimes the best victories aren't about winning. They're about reclaiming what someone tried to take from you.